You're about to listen to the Weird with a Side of Bacon podcast. We cover weird things, but part of that may include adult themes and content. We'll be talking about things like butts and boobs, and there will be swearing. It's kind of what we do. If there are any kids in the car, you may want to change the channel. Thanks, and enjoy. Hey, sweetie, what can I get for you?
Do you have any of today's specials left?
The weird? Oh yeah, we got lots of weird.
And can I get that with bacon?
Sure, weird with a side of bacon, coming up. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 23 of the Weird with a Side of Bacon podcast.
Yeah.
We are going to go through our hosts, starting with Misty. Misty, what do you do on the Weird with a Side of Bacon podcast?
I talk about crazy and weird news from all around the world.
All right. And then we will move our way over to Stephanie. What do you do, Stephanie?
Social media stories.
All right. And then
Short and sweet.
I am, last but not least, Trevor, and I cover weird history and weird facts. So we usually like to start with a personal story, and I do have a weird personal story. This isn't recent, but it happened over the summer, and I thought it was hilarious. We are at the zoo.
So it really wasn't.
It probably wasn't. I thought it was, but it probably wasn't. We're at the zoo, and there are a couple of kids running around like the play area where we were like eating lunch and stuff like that. And apparently these parents are just really, the parents of these kids must be just really good at being politically correct, because these kids were not playing Cowboys and Indians, which is the old school, you know, Cowboys and Indian, who wants to be the cowboy, who wants to be the Indian. And of course, it's very inappropriate because it's usually just cowboys going around killing Indians, and those are real people. Maybe we shouldn't do that. So instead, these kids, one of them yells out, "Let's play Americans in English." I think nothing of it. I'm like, I've never heard of that. This is weird. And these kids start running around, and one of them goes, "The British are coming! The British are coming! The British are coming!" And they're just running around doing this. So I'm like, I am pretty sure these parents taught them that you can't play Cowboys and Indians, but you can play British and American Civil War reenactment. I just thought it was really freaking funny.
Why do I not remember that?
It all happened just while we were walking around. And at the time, I didn't think much of it other than I saw it, and all of a sudden... And I'm like, what on earth is Americans in English? Yeah.
Well,
The British are coming. The British are coming.
the same day, it was odd too, is because all of a sudden there was guys all dressed in black and had earwigs in their ears.
Yeah, we couldn't tell if it was a wedding going on or if like Secret Service
was there. Like somebody big, and yeah, no, it was a wedding. I'm just
So
like,
kind of like Secret Service, but security.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, weird security. Maybe that's how they dress up at the zoo instead of like zookeepers. I don't know.
Well, let's get into the content. But before the content, we will get into the bacon rating system. For all the new listeners, we rate all of the content that we bring to the table today on a 1 to 4 bacon rating. 1 being your story is not weird, you're boring. Or a 4, your story is really freaking weird, we like you. And if it's extra good, yeah, that's a thing, it's crispy. And if it's extra, extra good, it's a BLT. That's what we're going with. I am up first for today's stories. Are you guys ready to get started?
So ready?
I'm ready. But now I'm hungry.
I'm ready. I had an orange and like a haystack for breakfast. I'm like, I didn't want to make a big breakfast because we usually get lunch. So
Right. I had coffee.
All right, guys. My first one, I'm going to start with the sources for this one. I have a Wikipedia page directly on this topic. I have an IFL Science article from 2021 and a January 2022 article from McGill University. I have titled this article, "Reading on the Toilet is Okay." I doubt you have ever heard of this, but I will ask anyway to see. Have either of you ever heard of the Mariko Aoki phenomenon?
What?
in English, please.
I can't because it is named after a woman named Mariko Aoki, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing incorrectly. But anyway, is a Mariko Aoki phenomenon.
Okay.
Okay. I'm so lost right now. We just started.
Did you find this while you were on the toilet?
I might have. I'm not really sure where I found this. Where these ideas come from me are all over the place. Various places I search, TikToks that pop up, all kinds of stuff.
I don't want to see what his Google feed looks like.
Oh, probably not. Probably not. Especially when I tell you what this phenomenon is. The Mariko Aoki phenomenon is the sudden urge and need to poop upon entering a library or bookstore.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, first I have to ask, do either of you suffer from Mariko Aoki phenomenon, where when you enter a bookstore or a library, you find the sudden urge and need to poop? Anybody have that here?
I can't say that I do.
No.
I don't either. But this is how this all came about, is in Japan in 1985, a woman wrote into a magazine. I couldn't figure out what magazine it was, but her name is Mariko Aoki. And it had to have something to do with this topic. But she said, I don't know what it is, but whenever I go into the local library or into a bookstore, I have the sudden need to poop. What is that and why? So it had to be some type of like science magazine or something she wrote into. Apparently when she did this, she triggered hundreds upon hundreds of letters from other readers saying, oh my God, I have this too. What the hell is this?
Great. Now every time I walk into the library or bookstore, I'm going to have to.
Because you're going to think about it?
Yeah.
And that's just it, is I'm sure the response from the magazine when they printed this was, because, I'm sure it's one of those like Ask Annie kind of things, is they probably said, no, that's not anything we've heard of or know of, until they got all these other people saying, I have this exact same thing. What on earth is this? And that's where some studies were done in it. No serious official studies. I cannot find, and it's literally stated that there is no like official scientific research group or university or whatever that has actually done a deep dive into this, but there have been studies on it, and this is a real thing. And it has been named after Mariko Aoki because of her article in the 1985 magazine. So there are various theories about why on earth this happens. Some people think it's a psychological condition. Some studies say the smell of books in the relaxing environment probably triggers this response, like you're in a safe, relaxing place. Maybe you want to poop. Other places or other studies on it, again, nothing like official have said, no, we think it's the physical activity of being in a library or bookstore, because you're walking around slowly, you're bending down, you're crouching, you're picking up books, looking around some more in a calm, relaxing fashion, and it makes you have to poop.
Okay. I kind of want to test this theory. I'm not going to lie.
Right? Or worse, we might have given ourselves this phenomenon. Now, every time we go into a library or bookstore, you're going to be thinking like, do I have to poop? And next thing you know, you're going to be psychologically like, well, now I want to poop.
Great.
Nobody knows exactly what causes it, but the Mariko Aoki phenomenon is odd. It's not considered something that needs any type of treatment. You don't need any physical or psychological or mental treatment for it. But if you have it, be prepared, because the people that do say they literally go there and have to poop when entering a bookstore.
Hold on. So when these people don't poop at home, do they just say, well, I'm going to get in the car and go to the library?
That's a good point. Is this a good treatment for those people if they have like constipation?
Patient?
I never thought about that.
Just out of curiosity.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I guess because none of us have it, I am very curious. We have various listeners. If anybody knows of this or has this, tell us if you're willing to. Be like, yeah,
or if
this
it's happened
is a
to
real
you.
thing. Yeah. Has it happened to you? Does it happen? Do you not even know it that you have this, but you just suddenly think back like, oh crap, I do this every time we go to the bookstore.
So, but and I'm wonder too, this was back in what, 1985?
1985 is where she wrote about it.
Well, that was way before Kindles and books on your phone, as to they went to the library a lot more often than public now.
It could be too. Maybe less people go to the library. I love libraries. If I get ever extra time, like retired or whatever, and I was going to volunteer for something, it'd be a library. I love libraries. I think they're the best. One of my favorite.
Okay, next time you go to the library, let us know.
If I poop?
Yeah.
I'll give you a heads up. So.
I'll be along, and I'm just going to laugh.
All of a sudden, I'll get a text message.
He's pooping!
Well, when they build like Barnes and Nobles, do you think they incorporate this potential issue and they put extra bathrooms in when they build like libraries and stuff? Is that a
I
thing?
don't know if I've ever been in the bathroom of a Barnes and Noble.
I've never been in the bathroom of a Barnes
You
and
know, maybe that's why they also put a Starbucks in there.
Oh God! If you have this between the coffee and the books, how would you ever make it home? You'd be in so much trouble.
Let's hope that you don't have to ask an employee to use the employee bathroom only that's in the bookstore.
right?
That would be so scary. You'd almost have to look like the people that might have this. I wonder if they're going to check out a new bookstore. They see if it has a public bathroom in there because
First.
they're going to need it. Because if it doesn't, I can't go to that bookstore, right?
I don't know.
Well, that's it. Short and sweet. What do you guys think of Mariko Aoki phenomenon?
I'm going to give it a 3. Simply because now my brain is turning and I need to know if anybody poops when they go to the library. I'm just going to start tracking people when we're in there.
Oh, we could do our own study. We just go to the library and we'll track how many people.
You just pick someone out and then
Right. See,
time it.
time when they come in, time if they go to the restroom, how long they're in the restroom. Because, you don't know if they're 1 or 2. And I don't think we
Whether
should
or not
ask
they
them.
have little kids or not.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah.
gonna
There's
go-
probably people that have that with kids. They probably have kids that have that. They're like, oh my God, every time we go to the library to get new books, he's like, I have to poop. It's so annoying. They probably have kids that have this and parents just don't know what's going on. They think the kid's just weird.
That goes with the theory of when you have young kids and every store you go into, they have to pee. I swear it's just to look at the bathroom.
Probably.
It could be.
What is this bathroom? What does that bathroom look like? I need to know what this bathroom looks like.
Stephanie, what's your rating for my story?
I'm going to go 3 crispy
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
because now anytime I, go into a library or a bookstore,
we
and
might
then I'm going to be like,
We might
shit, literally.
We might have just put it upon ourselves to poop at the library or the bookstore.
we might have created this for ourselves. We might have caused our own psychological issues.
Well, and anybody who listens to the episode, now they're going to have that in their head.
Well, at least I might answer the question. Is it psychological or is it physical? We might know. Dun, dun, dun.
Barnes and Noble is right next to the wine stores. Go to
That's
the
the
wine
wine
store.
store.
Makes sense. Solid.
I got an order app.
And working our way clockwise around the room, we are up to Misty. Misty, what is going on in the weird news world?
So my title is 911 lottery number earned top prize for 5,151 tickets in North Carolina.
There's a lot of numbers in there. I missed most of that. Can you say what happened?
So on December 29th, in North Carolina Education Lottery announced a pick 3 drawing resulted in 5,151 tickets bearing the numbers 911, winning over $1.43 million in prizes.
Whoa. Wait, so the winning numbers were 911?
Correct.
And enough people had bought those that they had to cash out 1.4 something million dollars?
Correct.
I guess it's a common number so people would know without having to look at their ticket if they won it. So a bunch of people use that number.
Which is so odd. I mean, I guess it is a pick 3 number, and it's funny because it's 911, and you can't really dial it unless there's an emergency, so why not use it somewhere else, right? So lottery officials said Saturday evening, pick 3 drawing resulted in 5,151 tickets, winning the top prize, which one of them is $250 for every 50-cent ticket and $500 for each $1 ticket. Now, I don't remember the last time I bought a pick 3 lottery ticket. I don't remember them ever having a dollar amount of a $1 ticket or a 50-cent ticket.
Yeah, 50 cents is a very cheap lottery.
I don't know
But
if
how
I've
much do you win if you got a 50%er?
If you bought a 50-cent ticket, your winnings would have been $250.
I'm cool with that.
I was just going to say, I don't think I've ever bought a pick 3. I've always only bought Powerball when it's like
A bagazillion
Yeah.
dollars. What would be another one? I wonder, 123. That's probably a common one. 911. What other numbers would are like a common 3-digit number? Maybe there'd be 456. Those probably is 666, 999. It's probably
Or some people probably will use like the number from the first month of each birth in their family.
but that's not going to be common because
No.
everybody has different births. That's why 911 has so many winners. It's because it's
I bet you
common
people
enough
use
number.
their area code. So like 920, 715, 608. So the total number of winners was more than $1.4 million. So whatever three numbers are picked, you pick. The odds to matching exactly those three numbers in a pick three drawing are the same as 1 in 1,000's officials, right? So winners of 180 days, well, each winner has 180 days to claim their prize.
Well, and that's the idea of the pick three is there's only three numbers, so the odds of winning are only 1 in 1,000. Where the Powerball and all that, was it like 6 or 7 numbers in a Powerball? So it exponentially goes up. That's why it's like 1 in a bazillion or 1 in a
1 in 260 some thousand, I think it is. What?
Yeah, it's some ridiculous number. Because every time you had like this is 1 in 1,000 because it's 3 digits. If you take then and do another number, it's a 0 through 9, so there's a 10 more potential things. So 1,000 times 10, now you're up to a 1 in 10,000.
Yep.
Another number, 1 in 100,000.
Yep.
Another number, 1, so.
Yep. So that's my story. Who would have thought to pick 911 for pick 3 Powerball or pick 3 lottery numbers?
Apparently a lot of people.
I never
thought about 911.
Right.
But then again, like I said, I don't ever really buy lottery tickets.
I'm kind of intrigued about a 50-cent lottery. It's kind of a fun thing.
Right? It's like the dollar scratch-offs.
Cool. I will give it I'll give it a 3.
I'll take it.
Because it is a lot of
I feel
winners.
like you weren't expecting.
I wasn't, but that's okay.
Because of the fact that there's a lot of winners for a number that is very common that you would have never have thought of if it wasn't for the fact that this article came out. I would have never thought of, hey, pick 3. A lot of people have these same numbers, and 911's coming up. I would have never thought of that.
Question is how many more people now will pick 911?
It's a good question too.
And how often do these numbers actually appear? Because they come out of a poppy machine, so it's not like.
And and you can pick your own numbers. What if 1, 2, 3 won once? If 1, 2, 3 was a winner, then how many people have that? If a lot of people are picking 911, a lot of people are probably picking 1, 2, 3.
That's like the code on my suitcase.
The code an idiot would have it in his luggage.
So that was my story.
I'll also give it a 3.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. It was a little out there, but I thought it was kind of cool.
It was kind of cool. Like you said, you don't think of that.
You don't know if it'll go if you don't take a chance. This is a bad lottery joke. That was terrible.
That was a terrible
joke.
I got an order app.
And number 3 in the pile for today is Stephanie. What do you got, Steph?
So I received an email from a listener,
Mm-hmm.
a fan of our show. Her name's Becky.
Okay.
So she emailed me. It was just a fun little story that she wanted to share. So this is the email. Hello, team. To preface, I'm a listener and I tell my husband about your stories. I told him about the shit in the shower story after I listened. He laughed and enjoyed it.
Nice.
Oopsie, I did
The
a
Oopsie.
Fast forward to present, my husband gave me shower steamers as a Christmas gift, and I pop one in the shower, grapefruit scent, and invite him to take a shower with me. When he arrives, the shower steamer disc had dissipated into this pile of orange citrus.
Oh, boy.
He then asked me if I had shit in the shower. We both laughed. Thanks, Becky.
The things you don't think you'll ever have an opportunity and out of context, it makes 0 sense.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where it was going. I'm like, all right, it's going to have the show. As soon as you said, started to dissolve, I'm like, and it's going to be like brown or orange or something. Oopsie, I did a poopsie.
I wonder if she said that to him when he asked.
And I wasn't sure how deep this was going to go into. Is like, you wouldn't believe what actually happened in the shower to us. I was like, whoa.
Awkward.
Woo, okay, good.
The shower steamers wouldn't, smell the same. So
Yeah, no.
No, that is not a good masker, I think.
It's not poopery. Oh my God, that is awesome.
So that's my story.
I'm definitely going to give that a 4 crispy. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I'm also going to go for crispy because it's a callback to a great story.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from a fan.
Well, thank you, Becky.
Yes, thanks, Becky.
Yes, Becky. You have earned Stephanie a 4 and a 4 crispy all around. Good work.
I got an order app.
All right, Trevor, what do you got?
I had a tough time naming this one.
So how many different names did you come up with?
Well, there's two potential names. The first one was
Potential names?
potential. No, potential. But I think I did say potential.
You did. He's like potential.
Potential. Oh, now I want to. Okay.
Get you some shower steamers.
Just waffle stop that. The first potential name was.
Hold on. Is your second story a poop related story?
It is not.
Mine is not poop related either. Well, yeah, my first one was, but yes. If we had the poop theme issue, we had way too many poop stories going on.
I don't think I have any poop stories.
Anyway, sorry.
Okay, sorry.
So the two potential names. The first one I had was Futurama was right. That'll make no sense to you guys right now. And the other name was Sometimes Building Fires Are Good, which also makes no sense to you guys at all.
No.
Was that your stomach?
Could you hear that?
A little bit. We're going to have to get some food after this one. I think we need to feed us.
Well, yeah, BLTs were brought up in here, and now I'm hungry.
Oh, God dang it. Now I want a BLT. Okay. All right, guys, let's wrap this up. Let's get this rolling.
Okay.
All right. My sources for this one, I have visitseattle.org article. I have a Wikipedia page directly on this topic. And I have another one from a website called Bill Spiedel's Blank Tours. I can't tell you what the middle word is. I can't tell you what the blank word is yet because it'll give it away a little bit. Again, it's called Bill Spiedel's Blank Tours. Article from their website. Okay. Let's get into the juice of this thing. Are you trying to guess what the word is?
Yes, I'm trying to think of what tours are
What
out
kind
there.
of tours there are? I don't know if you would get
I'll
this.
behave and not even Google.
All right. Well, all right. Futurama, tours, fires. That should give it all away.
Seattle.
Did I say? I did say Seattle. Visit Seattle. I was like, how do you know Seattle? Were you looking at my notes? But no, I did say Seattle. Seattle, well, of course, is on the water. I do not remember what the name of, but Seattle, of course, is on the Pacific Ocean. I did not remember what like the bay that Seattle is. Seattle Bay. I don't know. I really dropped the ball on that. I know it's on the coast, but I don't actually know like what the little bay,
Geography
the big
is
bay
not
is.
his thing.
I don't. It isn't. Okay.
At least he was on the correct coast.
Yes.
True.
Yeah, because the listeners don't know that was like a 5 to 10 second pause of me thinking about it. I'm going to edit that out. They will have no idea that I just did that.
Well, until that.
Yeah,
Oh, shoot. Well, sometimes I throw myself under the bus.
sometimes.
Yes, a lot of times.
Okay, go on.
There is a section of Seattle, which is the lowest section, right where it starts hitting the water, called the Pioneer Square. It's like the Pioneer Square District. That's what it's called or named. The issue is it is so low that it isn't built on just land that is adjacent, like the coast or whatever. It was actually built on top of tidelands, which is what it sounds like. Ground that when the tide gets high is a little bit underwater or it's real squishy and the tide goes down and it, tides. Okay.
They come and they go.
They come and they go. The problem is they built this thing because they had to be close to the water, but it is not in a nice area. It's very we call it marshy. We'll kind of call it. And an issue they had is it flooded a lot. Small, the winds come in the right direction, tide goes higher than normal or whatever. It's just the tide goes up. And they dealt with this for a long time. We're talking like the 1800s, by the way, when this is all going on. So they had all these things to deal with it. One was all of these sawmills in the area took all of their sawdust and would load it onto trucks and they would just dump it all over the roads because these are all mud roads, 1800s, and just water everywhere. So it's just sawdust being thrown on the roads everywhere they go in this Pioneer Square district. And of course, it's still flooded all the time. So buildings were built on stilts. So these buildings are off the ground a couple feet or so to deal with this water thing. But again, 1800s, not a lot of building code. So these things are haphazardly tossed together. Buildings up in the air a little bit, chunks falling off. The stilts are into this mud, so they're not actually good supports. Things got real ugly is somewhere in the late 1800s, there was a really cool invention that spread across America very quickly called the toilet. Toilets became really cool. Everybody said indoor plumbing toilets, hell yeah. The problem they had is when they put these toilets into the Pioneer Square district and everybody put them in, is that these toilets, of course, drained into the ocean. 1800s. Why not, right? Toilet, of course, is higher than the ocean. So the gravity makes the toilet flush down. What happens when tide goes up?
That was one shitty situation.
Yeah. They were described as your toilet turned into a fountain. So now the water is higher than your toilet, and all the water goes up the pipe and out your toilet. So your toilet would now turn into a watering fountain instead of a flushing
I
toilet.
thought you said it wasn't poopy.
I guess there is a little bit of a poopiness in this story. So we've got the roads that are just mud and sawdust. We have houses that are falling over haphazardly because of the bad stilts. And if you didn't careful to like close the valve or something, your toilets would flow backwards twice a day for tide. Good news is on June 6th, 1889, a guy working in the carpentry shop in the district, his glue pot overflowed, started a fire, and burnt down 25 blocks of Seattle.
25 blocks?
25 blocks. So 25 city blocks of Seattle on fire, burning everywhere, including the Pioneer Square district. Now, at first that seems bad. Like, fires are bad, right? City fires, people get hurt, all that. Apparently, though, they call it the Great Seattle Fire. Great, you think it'd just be big Seattle Fire or horrible Seattle Fire. Some people have literally said it was great because it was one of the best things that ever happened to Seattle. Well, that sounds terrible to say, but apparently some people have said that. What happened is when this fire happens, the city gets a bunch of money from the government to try to revive. You know, it's like kind of like you hear when like big floods happen or tornadoes, the federal government sends them money to try to rebuild and reestablish themselves.
They get a grant.
They get a grant, I guess, or whatever you want to call them. I should know that too, but I don't. Anyway, they get all this money. They have this Pioneer Square district that is burnt down mostly. Some places are okay, but a lot of it's really burnt down. They have this pile of money and they say, we need to rebuild this. But what if we don't rebuild it just the way it was? What if instead we take the buildings that are still there, we add some more support walls and columns, get down into the good dirt below, the good rock bed below all this, and instead we take the rooftops of the old buildings that are still good and all these walls we're going to add, and we put a new cement layer over the top of all of it. Everybody takes their one-story building, adds a new story on top of it, and we rebuild this district above ground. And then people say, well, what are we going to do with the chunk that's underground? And they said, we can still have it. It'll, of course, flood every once in a while and tide waters and all that.
Right.
But we can keep it. So if you go to the Pioneer Square district of Seattle, there is an underground city that still exists. So you can go in underground and you can walk around and there's these storefronts and these roadways. You look up and you'll see glass tiles, the big thick ones that people can walk on that were actually old skylights or ones that they added for this purpose. And that is the old roof of a building that is now the sidewalk outside and it lets the light through. You can walk around and there's these old stores and all that have all been closed down. It was used like this until 1907. Until 1907, people could walk on the ground level or they could take the underground city. Some stores still had their storefronts down there if they were still usable. A lot of places didn't because it got burned too much and they just used the new ground level. But eventually in 1907, the city did condemn the underground section because of fear of the bubonic plague. Because it is all stifled and, of course, it is humid and it's nasty down there. In 1907, the city said, we're going to condemn the underground city part because of the bubonic plague. But it's still there. And because of it, in 1965, a guy named Bill Spiedel somehow was able to work with the city and do some support work underneath there because there's all crumbling old stuff under there now. And he was able to open up a tourist business.
Underground tours.
Yep. It is the Bill Spiedel Underground Tours. So you can go to Seattle and go on the tour and you get to go to the underground city. And there are rooms down there. There are storefronts.
I kind of want to go.
I don't. If
Hold
you
on.
look at the pictures, they're really cool.
So it has been a very long time since we had a story where we needed to take a field trip.
That's a good point. And this would be the one. And in 2013, just to
But
wrap it all up.
We can go to the Frozen Dead guy thing. Festival.
Oh, yeah, we got to go to the
Because
Frozen
that
Dead
would be
guy
on
in
that side, too.
Denver. Yeah, and just work our way around. I like it. But just to wrap the whole thing up, though, in 2013, a second tour company called Beneath the Streets was created that explores yet another section of the underground.
Great, now there's
Bill's
two.
on. So, yes, you can go on 2 separate tours. And do you guys remember Futurama, the cartoon?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And all the mutants lived in the underground
Underground.
city. Yeah. See, that's where I was wondering if I want to go with that name. But yeah, there is an underground city abandoned under Seattle.
We need to travel more.
We need to be rich first.
Yeah, we could totally travel more. Only thing we're missing is the money to travel and the time to travel. Other than that, we got everything. Like I have a suitcase.
I have feet.
I have a growling stomach, apparently.
Yeah, Stephanie's hungry.
3 crispy.
I was saying, what are your guys' thoughts?
I give that a 3 crispy as well. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You totally want to do it, don't you?
Well, yeah.
Well, fans, feel free to look up Seattle Underground City and go to like Google Photos and stuff and check it out. It is pretty cool. I like the fact that they put, because again, a bunch of the roofs of buildings, they just
Cemented over.
or a lot of them were cement or whatever. But yeah, they cemented over and they added these glass blocks that are now like skylights. So when you walk,
So are
you
those
can see
glass blocks still there?
Yeah, they are. They show there's pictures of them. I don't know how many of them are still surviving, but there are. And you see light shining through it and all that. And they've turned like an amber color. They're not just clear anymore. They've kind of because literally this all was done in.
It's been over 100 years.
Yeah, over 100 years now. So they have kind of like an amber color. It's really cool looking. Yeah. But
Stephanie is Googling.
Seattle Underground. You guys can dig it.
I got an order app.
And now we are back to Misty. Give us some weird.
Harvard morgue manager who sold body parts like baubles gets 8 years prison time.
Wait, like bobbleheads?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I give you a 4 just by the title
Yeah,
alone.
we've done this. Some of these we don't want to hear the title because it gives away the whole story. This might be one of them. All right.
Yes.
Please go on.
I love to leave you speechless.
Oh, yes.
A former manager of the Harvard Medical School morgue in Boston was sentenced 8 years in prison for stealing and selling body parts as if they were baubles.
I keep thinking he's like taking like actual skulls and he's got them on springs and I don't know. Okay.
Authorities said Mr. Lodge was at the center of this ghoulish scheme in which he shipped brains, skin, hands, faces to buyers in Pennsylvania and elsewhere after cadavers donated to Harvard were no longer needed for research.
Oh, so he thought he had the perfect plan. Like they're just going to burn them
Like a
up.
side business.
Yeah, he's thinking they're just going to burn all this stuff up to destroy it, under the like biological requirements and stuff. And he just harvests some chunks first. It's a victimless crime. Sort of.
Your jokes aren't great today.
Ugh, too much? Okay.
Awkward.
So his wife was sentenced to just over a year in prison for assisting him. They appeared Tuesday in federal court in Pennsylvania. So this news article is fairly new. It's about 4 days old.
From when we're recording. So,
yes.
because we're recording in January 26th for this one.
Correct. Then it would be 4 days old. Nonetheless, it's newer for the month of January.
Oh, either way.
Okay, so in one example, Mr. Lodge provided skin to a buyer so it could be tanned into leather to bound into books.
Ooh, we're back. Now I know why she's like, it's going to go back to one of Trevor's stories.
It is a callback to the book, the wrapped
Human skin book.
Human Skin book at Harvard University. Oh, nice callback. Good job.
Yes. So that was deeply horrifying to some of the people who found out after this, like in the courthouse. In another incident, Mr. and Mrs. Lodge sold a man's face, perhaps to keep on a shelf, perhaps to use for something even more disturbing.
What's more?
To make a mask? Are we thinking something in the sexual realm? Oh God. I'm gonna hope it was more disturbing means mask and be done with that thought.
So his wife, 58, of New Hampshire, treated the parts as beloved human beings, as if they were baubles to be sold for profit, collected thousands of dollars from 2018 through March of 2020. That's when they got caught.
All right, so they did this for like a 2-year window, and it took this long to make it through the court system. Okay.
After Harvard finished using their donated bodies for research and teaching, the bodies typically returned to the families or cremated. So their knowledge of removing body parts for those who were cremated, nobody ever knew because they knew which ones were being cremated. So stealing them, those who were cremated never knew any of those body parts were missing.
Because I suppose it was also for research. If all of a sudden one came and it's missing a face, they're assuming that it was, that was used for some research project or something like that. How do you even find buyers for this? What do you do? Do you just put this out on
Google?
eBay? Would this be an eBay or an Etsy thing? I don't know. Both. How do you just put this out there? How do you find people for this?
And do these baubles actually say, like, buy this bauble is made out of human flesh? It was made out of somebody's face.
Well, okay. All right. Unrelated, but makes me think about. There are certain things sold on like eBay that it'll say one thing, it'll have a picture of that thing, but the price will be ridiculous. Let's say there's something that says like nightstand, for sale, and it'll just be a picture of some shitty ass cheap nightstand, and it'll be selling on eBay for like $800, and you're like, what the hell is going on? But if you look closely, there'll be like a vase on it with a weird flower, a little pot with a weird little flower. What they're actually selling is the flower, but that flower they have to have like a certain license for, or they're not allowed to ship because of biological something, and it's illegal to sell them on eBay and places like it. So what they'll do is they'll sell them what looks like a nightstand in the price, but everybody who really knows what they're looking at, because people that want to buy a nightstand, they're like, $20. And of course, nobody gives a shit because theirs isn't real. But people that know what they're doing will put in these huge bids for this actual illegal to sell online thing. So maybe that's what it is she was selling. It showed like a bobblehead, but if you knew how to read the secret code or maybe something in the background or whatever, that's what you're really buying. So maybe that's what it is. Because I know that's an entire underground industry of how to sell things like that.
So they don't go into too much detail, and I'm sure there's probably a reason why they don't go into a lot of detail as to like how it is, but we may be able to dig a little bit more into the case itself to find out, because the case is still going on. I believe that they did finally, like, they were charged with whatever. So Harvard had suspended their donation of bodies for 5 months in 2023. When charges were being filed against these people.
So Harvard went into panic mode for good reason.
Yeah. Yes. Well, the prosecutors say there are at least 6 other people involved in this, including an employee from the Arkansas crematorium who have pled guilty to the investigation of body part trafficking.
Oh, so these guys might have known some, because I'm sure in the circle.
There's always a circle.
They go to the national body part convention. Everybody's having some drinks afterwards, and the topic comes up.
There's a black web out there of body parts being trafficked.
And I suppose all the people that bought them, if they can figure out who all bought these people can all get charged with buying body parts and then
Mhm.
having them at home.
But that was my story.
I'll give it a 1.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, BLT. I'm going BLT on that one.
I was going to go
I'm going
BLT.
BLT on that one.
I knew you would like it because it goes back to the skin-covered books.
Yes, you had a great callback to the skin-covered books. And I'm sorry, I did not need you to say
Bubble.
someone's face for putting on a shelf or pause, other nefarious reasons. I was like, no, that's it. No more. Done.
I'd like to
BLT.
give you credit for a callback as well.
Oh,
When you were talking about the vase. Remember the story about the Goodwill?
yes.
Yes.
The expensive Goodwill vase.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
You didn't even know you did that, did you?
I didn't. But thank you for pointing it out. Look at this episode. It's just
It's
Full of
moving.
callbacks.
callbacks. It's a twist.
Not only is it oopsie for my poopsie, but it's a callback. Anyways, I figured you guys would really like that one.
I do.
BLT.
BLT.
Whoop, whoop.
I got an order app.
Well, Steph, you're following that one. Let's see what you got.
I have a Am I the Asshole story.
Oh, these are always great.
Am I the asshole? Mom mad because I don't want to clean her dirty sex sheets.
Why are we calling them sex sheets? Are these just because they're bed sheets and they know that people have sex in their bed? Or is this something, pause, more nefarious? Okay, go.
Why do you keep
You
adding the
just
pause
in there.
Because that's the way Misty said it.
Oh.
She said, for on the mantle or something more nefarious.
Oh, so you're doing it for when... Okay.
Dramatic pause.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Yes, ready.
Okay. My mom travels for work and is often away for months at a time. When she does come home, she usually flies in late, so she likes her room to be clean and her bed freshly washed and made.
Okay. That seems a little excessive. I expect to come home to a freshly made bed. I get it, but okay.
I'm happy to oblige because she's letting me live at home for free while I save up for my own place, and it's a simple request to just want the house clean. Plus, she's my mom. She's been dating this guy and has him over sometimes when she's in town. The last time she was here was Thanksgiving, and this guy spent the night at our place. I know that him and my mom had intimate relations because I could hear it from my room.
He was stuffing that turkey. Thanksgiving, yeah.
Yes, gross, but she's an adult and I'm living at her house, so it is what it is. Anyway, she leaves to go back to work the next day without cleaning her room/sheets, and now she'll be coming home next week for the holidays. I told her that I didn't feel comfortable cleaning her dirty sheets because I don't want to touch dirty sheets that have, quote unquote, those bodily fluids on them. She got pissed off and was saying that it's not a big deal as housekeepers in hotels clean dirty sheets all the time. But I stood 10 toes down that I'm not touching those sheets even with gloves. She's still pissed, but said she'll do it herself, but I don't understand how she doesn't understand that I actually feel offended that she'd expect me to handle those sheets in the first place. Am I the asshole?
Okay. No, I don't think he's an asshole. He's 100% correct. The mom could have been nice and stripped the bed, threw him in the wash machine so that all he had to do then was move it to the dryer. Yet, still clean at this point.
I believe that was like the top comment.
Oh, look at me.
Well, here's my thoughts on it, though.
Yeah,
Did
not
he-
the asshole. She could have stripped the bed and put them in the washer before she left.
Okay, I'll be on the other side of it because why not? What, he felt better when he was oblivious, thinking his mother wasn't having sex in her bed when he did the sheets before? I'm sorry, if you're watching someone's bed sheets, especially if they're, let's say they're married or they have a spouse or a boyfriend or someone that comes over, I'm sorry, but
I think it's
You
different
probably been
though
doing that
when you
anyway.
hear.
well, that's what I'm saying. So he felt better if he was if he didn't know if they had sex in it, but they probably had sex in it, he would feel better about it.
Well, I think it's one of those things where
Psychologically, you
Yeah.
hear the noise, you know what's going on. So if you don't hear anything, do you really think about
so
it?
now every
No.
time
He changes the sheet.
That's what he's gonna think.
that's what he's going to think.
Well, I don't want to disappoint you, big guy, but you've probably been changing mom's sex sheets for a hell of a long time now.
But not if her boyfriend is a new guy.
That's true. That is true.
Maybe it
maybe
was
no guys
maybe it
have
was a
come over.
boyfriend's first time coming over or staying the night there.
I suppose maybe the whole time he's been living with mom, she hasn't had anyone over before, and he felt safe knowing that they weren't sex sheets. But I'm gonna still hold to it, just because you don't know what mom's doing in her bed. Just made you feel better. I'm sorry, dude. You just deal with it.
Okay.
Like I said, hotel workers, they've been dealing with sheets that probably have sex
Okay,
in them.
But I
all the
think they
time.
actually wear gloves.
They do wear gloves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But on that note, too, yes, they had sex. But is there bodily fluid on every inch of those sheets? Theoretically, it's only the middle half. Pull
Well,
from the
sometimes
corners.
it's the edge. Sometimes it might have been by the corner. What?
Okay, Trevor went down a hole.
A little bit.
Leaving that one.
But yes, there, I'm sure, are cleaner areas of the sheets. And if he's that scared, take a black light to it.
Oh,
Then
that
you know
sounds
where
like
to touch.
Oh, that sounds like a terrible idea.
That
Then
sounds worse
That
than-
sounds worse. Then you know exactly what happened. That's like a crime scene. Like, well, based on the splatter pattern here.
In my opinion, I don't think it should have even been a discussion.
The mom should have stripped the bed.
Yes.
Just out of courtesy. Yeah.
I mean,
Strip the bed,
theoretically,
threw
he
him
is
in the wash, and
cleaning
just said, "Hey,
her
can you
room.
switch?"
Like, to me, that's my private area. I don't need my kids going in there doing whatever or anything at that point.
Yeah, that whole thing just comes off a little weird too. Mom expects.
Him to clean her room? Like,
Yeah, I think it'd be if it was a one-time thing, like, hey, I got to take off, but I'm gonna come back in like a week, and I know it's gonna be late. Can you do me a favor and make my bed? The sheets are in the wash machine or in the dryer right now. I can't stay from the dryer. Could you do me a favor? I can see that, but to be like, hey, I expect you to tidy up and change my sheets and tidy up my room for when I come back in a week. I feel like that's just that request.
have
is
So
kind of
overall,
weird.
he's not the asshole, but there are a lot of like back and forth weird.
as to,
yeah.
yes. That's definitely weird, though.
Yeah, the request is weird to begin with, to change the sheets, and then the sex sheets and all that.
I think I'm going to give it a 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 4 on that actually, because it was got to be really awkward. Be like, "Hey, honey, how are you?" In the morning, like, "Hey, honey, how are you? I'll be taking off. If you could, our bed is just an absolute mess. If you could just clean that up for us, that would be great."
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with a 4 on that as well. So
Well, thanks, guys.
And you were scared.
yeah, I think it was a good follow up. I think we're okay. All right, guys. I think that is enough fun for episode number 23. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you guys want to see more of our content, if you're listening to us as a podcast, you can also check us out on YouTube. All of our episodes are video recorded as well. You could check us out in the studio, see what we all got going on. Also, you can check out our reels that we have on YouTube that we throw together. We are also on TikTok. We're on Facebook. Actually, they're YouTube. They're called Shorts, aren't they? We got reels. We got shorts. We got TikTok. So we got a little bit of everything. We're all also on the Instagram or Instacart. If you guys want to go around and leave us a comment, we would really appreciate it. A rating, also really appreciated. That's how people find out more about our podcast, and that's what we're hoping to do. The more we grow, the more fans we have, the more people sending us stories, the weirder this place is going to get. And the more you know, and the weirder you'll be. If you guys want to send us an email, you can also do that. Our email address is weirdwithsideofbacon@gmail.com. Again, no A, just weirdwithsideofbacon@gmail.com. As we like to say at the end of every episode, please keep it weird, because normal is just another word for boring. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.